It is my absolute honor to be presenting Mr. Vince Savoia as candidate for the Bachelor of Applied Studies this evening. Vince is a Humber College alumni, graduating from our paramedic diploma program, formerly the Ambulance and Emergency Care program, in 1982. Vince served as a paramedic and emergency medical dispatcher from 1982 to 1992. It was through this frontline emergency services work and one particularly gruesome call in 1988 that Vince became acutely aware of the negative psychological effects on emergency services employees as a result of their day-to-day stressful and at times dangerous work. In 1988, Vince became a member of the first ever critical incident stress management team at Toronto Emergency Medical Services. Vince established the Tema Conter Memorial Trust in 2001, Canada's leading provider of peer support and peer-to-peer training for frontline emergency services workers. This essential training program has saved lives of first responders, military, and correctional officers dealing with operational stress injuries and post-traumatic stress disorder. It was through this work that Vince learned of his true calling. Vince has devoted his entire career to illuminating the effects of post-traumatic stress among first responders and is convinced of the role that resiliency plays in mitigating these effects. Vince is a friend of the schools of health sciences and community and social services. Vince freely and willingly donates his time and energy to discuss his history with our learners, and I know that just this past semester, Vince spoke with our paramedic graduates, many of whom are in the audience today. Vince is committed to ensuring that our graduates are equipped with the requisite coping skills to ensure they are ready for the road ahead, as well as what is available to all emergency services providers at their most impactful time of need. Vince is a member of the York Region Critical Incident Stress Management Team, a qualified mental health works trainer with the Canadian Mental Health Association, a certified applied suicide intervention skills training instructor, and a friend of Humber College. President Whitaker, Mr. Gray, it is with great honor and pleasure that we ask you to confer upon Mr. Vince Savoia the Bachelor of Applied Studies degree. The Tema Conter organization has coined a term that I believe is fitting for use today. Heroes are human. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Vince Savoia as a compassionate, energetic, and purposeful human who has been and will continue to be a hero to so many in the emergency services sector, including yours truly. I now invite Mr. Savoia to address the class of 2016. Vince?
Wow, thank you. There's a lot of people here tonight. Well, good evening, President Whitaker, members of the Board of Governors, honored guests, and fellow graduates. I am truly honored and humbled to be here before you this evening. When I was notified that I would be receiving this honorary degree, I was absolutely shocked. I have been blessed in that I have graduated from Humber not once, but twice. Once from the Law and Security Administration program, known today as the Police Foundations program, and the second time from the Ambulance and Emergency Care program, now known as the Paramedic program. So needless to say, I never expected to be here a third time. Some 34 years ago, I remember sitting where you are today, filled with joy and excitement, and I had an eagerness to make my mark in the world as an ambulance driver attendant. That's what we were called back then. We weren't called paramedics. We were called ambulance drivers. And I always hated that term, ambulance driver. And I would often go to sleep at night asking the universe to enlighten me. Why weren't police officers called police car drivers? And why weren't firefighters called fire truck drivers? Obviously, we did a lot more than just drive an ambulance. We provided care to the sick and injured, and it was truly a privilege to provide that patient care. As Jason alluded to, January 27th, 1988 was a day that I will never forget. As a paramedic, I attended to the homicide of Miss Tema Conter. And what made that day, what made that call so unique for me was that as I was standing by the bed looking at Tema, I thought it was my fiance who had been raped and murdered. And it took about 12 years to understand that what I was dealing with as a result of attending to that one call was what we now know today as post-traumatic stress disorder. As you can appreciate, back in the 80s, no one really had any idea what the psychological effects were on our public safety and military personnel. And in 2001, with the blessing of the Conter family, we started the Tema Conter Memorial Trust. And the charity started off as a very small charity offering a $1,000 scholarship to a paramedic student here at Humber College. And our first recipient was a student by the name of Emily Patrick, and that was in the year 2000. Since then, that scholarship program has grown to offer $32,500 a year in scholarships. And I must say, over the past 15 years, it's been a Humber grad that has won our national scholarship more often than not. So, thank you. Today, you are graduates of the School of Health Sciences here at Humber College. You have been given the theoretical knowledge, and you have received some of the best practical hands-on experience in your respective fields. I am confident that Humber has given you the tools to excel. But if you don't mind, I'd like to share a few words of wisdom with you. Words that I hope you can take with you and add to your toolkit. When you're dealing with people, regardless of your occupation, please remember that people need to be seen, heard, and understood. Listen to what they are saying to you. Validate what they are feeling. Be the ultimate healthcare professional. Having a front row to the best circus in town will allow you to see things that will challenge your morals, your values, and your beliefs. Your life experiences and your perceptions to these events may affect you in many different ways. You have all agreed to take care of others. Please do not forget to take care of yourself. Eat well, sleep well, work well, and play well. But more importantly, enjoy life. Be receptive to change, embrace change, be passionate, and most of all, enjoy your journey. Congratulations.